If you think passing the ball is easy, just try it after breaking your finger. It seems like a simple part of the game, right? Just throw it to your teammate. Well, not so fast. There are actually quite a few professional basketball players who can't make a normal pass. And today we're going to talk about one NBA star who physically cannot make a normal pass. So without further ado, let's get into it. But before we do that, as usual, if you end up liking this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. That being said, let's get back to what a normal pass is in basketball. Now, we all know what a pass is when we hear it, but there are actually different types of passes in basketball. We have bounce passes, chest passes, overhead passes, baseball passes, and the list goes on. Of course, every player has their favorite pass or their go-to pass. In fact, some players even have a signature pass that they're known for. Think about Magic Johnson or John Stockton. However, when you break your bone, you may not have the luxury of choosing which pass you want to make. The most common type of pass in basketball is probably the chest pass, and it's also the easiest pass to make. All you have to do is put your hands up to your chest and throw the ball with two hands to your teammate. Sounds easy. Well, believe it or not, some players even struggle with this basic pass. And today we're going to talk about one player who can't make a chest pass. It was the 2009-2010 season. The rookie had just made his NBA debut and had even played in the Rising Stars Challenge during All-Star Weekend. He averaged over 18 points per game and was named to the All-Rookie First Team. But all of that would be just a stepping stone to bigger things. His second year in the league, he won the Most Improved Player award and made his first All-Star team. In his third year, he made his first All-NBA team. His fourth year, he was an All-Star again, and in his fifth year, he finally won a championship. Throughout his career, he made 8 All-Star teams, 5 All-NBA teams, and 3 All-Defensive teams. He was one of the best two-way players in the league and was known for his athleticism, scoring ability, and defense. But what he was not known for was his passing ability. Yes, that's right. We are talking about none other than Jimmy Butler. Now, to be clear, this isn't Jimmy Butler's fault. You see, while playing for the Bulls, Butler broke his right ring finger. When you break a bone, you need to stay off of it as much as possible. In the end, he decided to play through the pain and developed a workaround. Instead of holding the ball in his right hand, he started holding it in his left. This meant that he couldn't use his right hand to dribble the ball or pass it. At first, this wasn't too big of an issue. Butler was a scoring machine anyway, so it didn't matter that he couldn't pass. However, as the games went on, Butler started to realize that he was in trouble. You see, in basketball, it's not enough to just score. You also have to make your teammates better. If you don't do that, you won't win many games. This meant that Butler had to find a way to pass the ball without using his right hand. He tried using his right hand to make a one-handed pass, but that was too painful. He then tried using his right hand to make a bounce pass, but that was too painful as well. Eventually, he started using his right hand to make overhead passes. These were high-risk passes, because if he threw the ball too hard, he could aggravate his injury. Butler ended up making a few of these passes during the regular season. But come playoff time, the Bulls were in trouble. They were facing off against the Brooklyn Nets and were down by 6 with only seconds left on the clock. Head coach Tom Thibodeau drew up a play for Butler to drive to the basket and kick it out to a wide-open Taj Gibson for the easy three-pointer. But as Butler drove to the basket, he found himself with the ball in his left hand. This wasn't a problem as he kicked the ball out to Gibson for the wide-open three. But this was an entirely new situation, and he wasn't used to it. Butler tried to make a chest pass to Gibson, but the ball fell harmlessly out of bounds. The Bulls lost the game and their season was over. Over the next few months, Butler would undergo surgery on his finger and would make a full recovery. But the damage was already done. The Bulls' front office saw how poorly he passed the ball and decided not to offer him a contract for the following season. Butler would go on to play for the Timberwolves, the 76ers, and the Heat. He never won another championship, but he did become one of the most feared scorers in the league. With that being said, though, his passing still left a lot to be desired. In fact, in a game against the Lakers in January of 2020, Butler was called for a double dribble because he attempted a chest pass with two hands while standing still. You heard that right. He was called for a travel violation because he tried to chest pass the ball with both hands while stationary. Here's a look at the play in question. Clearly, this is not a normal pass. And the referees knew it. They immediately blew the whistle and assessed Butler with a double dribble. To make matters worse, the opposing coach, Frank Vogel, challenged the call and it stood. Butler was visibly frustrated and argued vehemently with the refs, but they didn't budge. Butler knew he messed up and was trying to explain that he wasn't trying to dribble the ball with two hands, but no one was having it. Ultimately, the Bulls would lose that game by 3 points. Now, it's important to note that Butler isn't the only player who has struggled with a normal pass. There are plenty of other NBA players who have had similar issues. For example, there's Antoine Walker. Walker was a two-time All-Star and was known for his scoring ability. But in the 2001-2002 season, he broke his right pinky finger. This forced him to shoot and pass with his left hand, which wasn't his dominant hand. As you can imagine, this led to some wild passes, especially when Walker tried to make chest passes with both hands. Here's a look at one such pass. It's safe to say that this isn't a normal pass. In fact, it's not even close. Luckily for Walker, he was able to play through the injury and even made an all-star team that season. But he never really developed a reliable passing touch with his non-dominant hand. Then there's Latrell Sprewell. Sprewell was an explosive scorer who was known for his athleticism and high-flying dunks. But in the 1997-1998 season, he broke his right thumb. This forced him to shoot and pass with his left hand, which wasn't his dominant hand. Like Walker, this led to some pretty wild passes, especially when he tried to make chest passes with both hands. Here's a look at one such pass. Once again, it's safe to say that this isn't a normal pass. And the refs knew it. They immediately blew the whistle and called Sprewell for a double dribble. So yes, Jimmy Butler isn't the only player who has struggled with a normal pass. Plenty of other NBA players have been in this position and have made some pretty wild passes. It's just part of the game. When you break a bone, you gotta do what you gotta do. All in all, it's safe to say that Jimmy Butler can't make a normal pass. Sure, he can throw the ball to his teammate, but it's usually a wild pass that has little chance of being caught. Hopefully, Butler will be able to fix this issue in the future. But until then, we'll just have to sit back and enjoy the show. That's all for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Have a great day.